Yo! Kumusta? Mabuhay, magandang gabi, and maligayang pagbabalik sa aking channel. Today, we will find out if it's interesting to invest in the Philippines, I think. Let me read you the title. The Philippines investment boom. There you go. I thought that would be interesting to check out. But before we start, make sure to follow me on Instagram at MusicGameNews because that is where you can DM me your suggestions. And without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Foreign investments are a key part of helping a country's economy grow. In both the past and future, they are one of the leading sources of funding for businesses and infrastructure developments. There is, however, one country that is continually lagging behind its peers when it comes to these foreign investments. We're talking about the Philippines, a country with some of the strictest policies when it comes to foreign investments. It has a law that citizens often call the 60-40 rule.
Sink or swim, changing the 60-40 rule on foreign ownership as key to surviving globalization.
Which restricts foreign entities from owning more than 40% of a business in the country.
Okay, so that, so I guess it's not very attractive for foreigners to invest in the Philippines because of this rule/law.
This then creates a huge problem as it discourages potential
There you
investors.
go, discourages.
However, in recent years, things have started to change. The government has enacted a so-called game-changing law, a law which would allow foreign entities to finally own 100% of the business in the Philippines.
Goodness gracious, this is interesting.
According to experts, this agenda will finally enable
the country has made progress in approving economic reforms that would boost foreign investments. Okay.
the nation to be an attractive investment destination. But just how big is the opportunity for foreign entities? Or alternatively, have foreign investment interests already died down for the country? Before we move on, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe for more. The change of the ownership law in the Philippines was enacted in the early months of 2022.
The first law, which kicked in January 21, 2022, so very recently, opens retail industry to 100% foreign ownership. I wonder if if things have changed, if this law took place because of the pandemic, you know? Because the pandemic was not nice, was not easy for Filipinos.
Following decades
Was not kind for Filipinos.
of limiting foreign influence on the nation's businesses. Throughout these decades, there have been several debates and even some laws that allow foreign ownership to enter the country, but there are still some limitations attached to it. This recent shift, however, is said to be the biggest reform for
I don't like how he reads. Renowned to be the biggest one for foreign investments in the nation.
foreign investments in the nation.
This
New legislation will allow foreigners to hold 100% ownership of
That's
every
good.
type of business in the community, with only a few exceptions in key industries.
Is it good though? Is it good if foreigners can, keep 100% of the business? How is that gonna help the Philippines though? You know?
Nevertheless, these are enormous bonuses which may be a signal to the world that the Philippines is getting serious about receiving foreign investments. As the public finally opens its doors to foreign investments, in the next few years or so, it may finally experience tremendous foreign investments to rival that of emerging countries.
Okay, so the Philippines is number 5 behind Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Singapore. Okay, so in 2000, did you see? There's a difference between 2018 and 2019. And for the Philippines, like investments went down in 2019 compared to 2018. So I guess moving forward, I think the orange bar will be higher than the blue bar.
This will enable the businesses and enterprises of the country to further push their innovation through strong funding. Moreover, having foreign entities
good.
have larger stakes in businesses would mean they have a stronger voice within the corporation. Leaning on local knowledge has...
Hey, I didn't see you there. Well, now that you're here, why don't you celebrate for making it this far into this video by subscribing to the channel, by turning on that notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos, and of course, and the most important thing, to like this video because it does help out the channel tremendously. And now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go back to my business. FDI creates new jobs and more opportunities as investors build new companies in foreign countries. This can lead to an increase in income and more purchasing power to locals. I mean, I guess it's okay, you know, if foreign people come to the Philippines to invest and own businesses, but I think that they should also put Filipinos at the top of the business, you know, not just keep them like, you know, I guess regular employees. You know, they need to give Filipinos big roles in the company as well. Yeah.
Has thus far only benefited businesses to grow locally, but with the help of foreign intelligence, this will change and may push the Philippines to grow businesses capable.
Jollibee in downtown Vancouver finally showing signs of progress. Come on, Jollibee, come to Montreal. We need a Jollibee in Montreal. I love fried chicken. Come on. We need one in Montreal. There's one in Vancouver. There's one in Toronto, I think, or not far from Toronto. We need one in Montreal. Come on, man.
Capable of competing globally. Furthermore, the introduction of foreign investment will help push business valuation upwards. This means that business, whether it is publicly traded in the Philippine Stock Exchange or privately held, will be more expensive as there is an increase in demand within these enterprises.
The physics sounds like physics. Closed near its pre-pandemic high as the act would allow greater foreign ownership for some listed companies. That's what I thought. I knew it was because of the pandemic that the laws are changing. Yeah.
Prizes. While the opportunity is indeed a massive transformation, it also comes with some disadvantages to it. The entrance of foreign businessmen to the country means that locals will have new competitors, and what's more terrifying is that these competitors may have higher funding and better knowledge.
Yup.
This has the potential to crush.
That's why I said you should not forget about Filipinos, you know, and hire them to work for you or with you in these new businesses.
The local competition in the short term. In the long term, however, we believe that this will create a more innovative marketplace within the Philippines, pushing for better products, better designs, and lowering the cost of goods and services. These will all enable the citizens to be richer and have more money to spend as costs may get lower. These challenges may also enable foreign enterprises.
Lenny Robredo, the VP. It is my hope that the strong safeguards are put in place during the BICAM, during the deliberations, so that our national interests and the welfare of the Filipino people are protected.
To monopolize certain industries and pull all the profits to themselves. It is only up to the government and local players to ensure that this won't happen. The Philippines is known to be an emerging market and a new industrialized country. This is also a big attractive factor for investors globally. Several experts around the world have even called that emerging markets are going to be the next big destination.
Okay, the Philippines is amongst the countries that will emerge market-wise. New emerging markets, Nigeria, yeah, for sure, man. Also, they make a lot of movies. Indonesia, Mexico, the Philippines, and Turkey. Okay.
Destination. The timely introduction of this change will likewise be an amazing feat for the nation. This newly enacted decree will be beneficial for its startup ecosystem. It is relatively known that during the lockdowns of the past few years, the country has produced internet winners and businesses that thrived and changed during the shifting times.
Well, it makes sense, Philippines' digital economy continues to gain ground amid COVID-19 pandemic. Although, maybe that may be the case, but I hear that the internet connection is still not very good. I think that's the one thing that they need to focus on first. You need great internet connection to facilitate digital work, and the digital economy.
This has given the likes of e-commerce, fintech, and blockchain an innovation boost. With these, there are now thousands of startups out in the land that have gained traction, and foreign funding will likely disrupt the status quo and give them a massive push.
I'm gonna give this some thought, talk to some people, and who knows, maybe it would be smart for me to invest in the Philippines. It's a possibility. Who knows? I mean, I don't have a lot of cash yet to invest with, but once there is cash, maybe. I mean, I've always known that the Philippines had tons of potential if it was ruled properly. And I'm not saying that Duterte did not rule properly. I actually think he did, because Filipinos that I talk to are very happy with what he did the last few years, but you can only do so much in 6 years. So hopefully the next president that should be elected any day now, hopefully they will keep that momentum and, make the country better so that it is even more attractive to everybody, really, because tourism in the Philippines is actually pretty good, but you need more than that. If foreigners also feel like they want to invest there, why not? If you invest there, more businesses come there, and the country will look even more attractive, to tourists. And to the world in general. Okay, people, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on this video. Do you think that this will happen? Do you think that this is right? Is this good for the Philippines, Because there's always the good and the bad in any situation. So I'm counting on you to let me know your thoughts. Maraming salamat po. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe here, and please like the video to show your support and appreciation for my work, and turn on the notification bell to be poked for future content. Yeah.